bring your bread back to life without hurting anyone.
Today I want to show you how to clean a gunky vase.
How to freeze your way to fresh herbs anytime you want them.
Life hacks from Grandma can transform your daily task with simple solutions. Why buy expensive cleaners when vinegar can sparkle windows and aluminum foil can sharpen scissors? Join us as we discover Grandma's 29 plus oddly useful life hacks you wish you knew sooner.
Baking soda. Open the box and put it on the shelf of your refrigerator. Every time you open the door or close it, it will always be fresh.
Baking soda, a common household item, gained popularity in the mid-20th century for freshening refrigerators and shoes. The simple trick involved placing an open box of baking soda in these spaces to absorb bad odors. The science behind it was interesting. Baking soda neutralizes both acidic and basic odor molecules, making it an effective deodorizer. It could also freshen up gym bags, trash cans, and carpets, offering a cheap, easy, and eco-friendly alternative to chemical deodorizers. While still in use today, some people have moved on to natural deodorizers like activated charcoal or essential oils. As we explore how baking soda revolutionized odor control, have you ever wondered what other simple, effective cleaning hacks emerged in the 1970s? Let's explore vinegar's impact on window cleaning next.
And I'm going to show you how to clean your windows using just vinegar and water.
In the 1970s, using vinegar to clean windows became a popular hack. This method involved mixing equal parts of white vinegar and water in a spray bottle, spraying it on windows, and wiping it with a cloth for a streak-free shine. Vinegar's acidity effectively broke down grime and grease, making it a natural and efficient cleaner. Interestingly, vinegar had been used for cleaning for centuries, even by ancient civilizations. Though some later switched to other products, vinegar remained favored by those who valued its simplicity, eco-friendliness, and effectiveness. It was still widely used for windows, mirrors, and glass surfaces.
If you break a glass, a bottle, any of those things, you don't want to be touching that with your hand. Place it over those little slivers and you press down all over it.
In the 1970s, a clever hack using bread to pick up glass shards became popular. The method involved pressing a slice of bread over shattered glass. The bread's soft, spongy texture trapped tiny shards that a broom might have missed, making it a safe and effective way to collect all fragments. Interestingly, stale bread worked even better because it held together more firmly. This hack was especially useful in households with children or pets where safety was crucial. Though some later used specialized tools or vacuum cleaners, the bread method remained favored for its simplicity and effectiveness.
Do you have water rings on the furniture? Well, reach for your jar of mayo. This household staple does way more than just make sandwiches taste great, and it is something that I think you should know.
In the 1960s, a popular trick for removing water rings from wood involved using mayonnaise or a mixture of baking soda and water. This method required rubbing mayonnaise or the paste onto the rings, letting it sit for a while, then wiping it off with a clean cloth. The oils in the mayonnaise displaced moisture trapped in the wood, while baking soda gently lifted the stain without harming the finish. This simple, cost-effective solution, using everyday items, became widely favored, even though some people later switched to commercial products for wood care.
Tired of your potatoes sprouting too soon? Here's a simple trick.
In the 1970s, storing an apple with potatoes became a popular trick to prevent sprouting. This method involved placing a fresh apple among potatoes because apples released ethylene gas, a natural hormone that inhibited sprouting, keeping potatoes fresh longer. While bananas and tomatoes also produced ethylene, apples were preferred for their longer shelf life. The hack gained popularity for being simple, cost-effective, and using common household items. Although some people later turned to commercial sprout inhibitors, the apple method remained a favorite for its natural and eco-friendly approach, especially for those buying potatoes in bulk. Keeping potatoes fresh with an apple was a clever trick, but did you know a similar simple hack for freshening carpets? Let's explore how baking soda can transform your carpets.
Does baking soda work as a deodorizer on carpet? I decided to test that theory.
Using baking soda to freshen carpets was a simple and effective method that gained popularity in the 1970s. People would sprinkle baking soda on the carpet, let it sit for about 15 minutes, and then vacuum it up. The baking soda absorbed odors and moisture, leaving the carpet smelling fresh and clean. As a natural mineral called sodium bicarbonate, baking soda had been used for cleaning for centuries. This technique was especially useful in homes with pets or smokers, offering an affordable and eco-friendly alternative to commercial deodorizers. Its effectiveness kept it widely used over the years.
Clean cast iron, like a glass bowl or ceramic dish.
We're gonna clean it with salt.
Yeah, kosher salt.
Yeah.
Cleaning cast iron pans with salt became a popular method in the mid-20th century. Instead of using soap, which could remove the seasoning, people used coarse salt as a gentle abrasive to scrub away food particles and grime without harming the pan's surface. This technique was not only effective, but also eco-friendly, avoiding harsh chemicals. Since salt was easily accessible in most kitchens, it provided a convenient way to maintain cast iron cookware. This method, favored by enthusiasts wanting to preserve the pan's non-stick properties, has remained popular due to its simplicity and effectiveness. In the mid-20th century, a surprising but effective method for removing rust involved using an onion. This technique required cutting an onion in half and rubbing it on rusted knives or garden tools. The sulfuric acid in the onion reacted with the rust, breaking it down and making it easier to wipe away. Not only was this method effective, but it was also eco-friendly, avoiding harsh chemicals. Onions were a common kitchen item, making this a convenient and cost-effective solution. Despite its age, this natural rust removal hack remained popular and widely used.
Today I'm going to show you how to keep a pot from boiling over.
Using a wooden spoon across the top of a pot to stop it from boiling over became a well-known kitchen trick in the mid-20th century. By laying the spoon lengthwise on the pot, it helped break up bubbles and kept them from spilling over. The trick worked because wood doesn't conduct heat well. When bubbles hit the cooler wooden spoon, they burst and release steam, which stopped the pot from overflowing. This method was especially handy for cooking starchy foods like pasta or potatoes that created more bubbles. The trick remained popular with home cooks who liked its simple effectiveness. As we've discovered how a wooden spoon can prevent a pot from boiling over, how can we keep brown sugar just as handy? Let's explore this next kitchen trick.
Hey, what do you do when your brown sugar goes hard? Look at this, you can even hear it. Hear how crunchy? Oh, see?
Keeping brown sugar soft by storing a marshmallow or a slice of bread in the container was a clever trick that gained popularity in the late 20th century. This method involved placing a marshmallow or a slice of bread in the brown sugar container to maintain its moisture and prevent it from hardening. The fun fact about this trick was that the moisture from the marshmallow or bread transferred to the sugar, keeping it soft and easy to use. This technique was especially useful since brown sugar often dried out and hardened when exposed to air. Using a common kitchen item like bread or marshmallows made it easy to keep brown sugar in perfect condition.
I'm going to show you how you can easily make dry shampoo at home just using simple ingredients from your kitchen pantry.
Using cornstarch as a dry shampoo was a popular trick because it was both simple and effective. People sprinkle cornstarch on their hair roots, let it sit for a few minutes, and then brush it out. The cornstarch absorbs excess oil, making hair look fresh and clean without water. This method gained traction in the early 2000s as a natural and inexpensive alternative to commercial dry shampoos, which often contain chemicals. A fun fact is that adding cocoa powder to cornstarch helped it blend with darker hair colors and added a nice scent. Although it was popular, its use decreased with the introduction of more advanced dry shampoo products.
They say that you can sharpen your scissors by cutting foil.
Using aluminum foil to sharpen scissors was a popular trick that many people relied on. To use this method, one would fold a piece of aluminum foil several times to make it thick and then cut through it with dull scissors. The foil helped to clean off small burrs and debris from the blades, making them sharper and more effective. This hack gained popularity in the early 2000s as a quick and easy way to maintain scissors without special tools. Though it didn't actually sharpen blades traditionally, but cleaned and smoothed them, It was a handy fix before more advanced sharpening tools became available. Just as aluminum foil was once a handy fix for dull scissors, could another simple household item offer surprising benefits for your garden? Let's explore how eggshells might transform your gardening routine.
Eggshells as a homemade fertilizer, a very popular homemade fertilizer.
Crushing eggshells and spreading them in the garden proved to be an excellent natural fertilizer and pest deterrent. This technique involved collecting used eggshells, washing them, and crushing them into small pieces. These crushed shells were then sprinkled around plants to supply vital nutrients like calcium, which helped strengthen plant cell walls and encouraged healthy growth. This method gained popularity in the early 1990s as people sought eco-friendly and affordable gardening solutions. Interestingly, eggshells also kept pests like slugs and snails away because their sharp edges were uncomfortable for these creatures. Furthermore, eggshells reduce soil acidity, making it more alkaline and suitable for some plants.
Keeping herbs fresh for a long time can be a serious challenge. So I'm going to show you a kitchen hack for how to freeze your way to fresh herbs anytime you want them.
Freezing leftover herbs in olive oil was a smart way to keep them fresh and flavorful. To do this, people placed fresh herbs in an ice cube tray, covered them with olive oil, and froze the tray. When they needed herbs, they could simply pop out a cube and use it in their cooking. This method became popular in the early 2010s as people looked for ways to cut down on food waste and save money. Besides preserving the herbs, this trick also flavored the oil, making it useful for soups, stews, sauces, and sautéed vegetables. Although prepackaged herb blends and oils have gained popularity, this method remains a favorite for those who enjoy cooking with fresh, homemade ingredients. Using lemon for stains and odors was a popular kitchen trick that stayed relevant over time. People rubbed a cut lemon on cutting boards to get rid of stains and unpleasant smells. The natural acidity in lemon juice helped break down food stains and neutralize strong odors. It was also effective for deodorizing hands after handling smelly ingredients like garlic or fish. This method became well known in the early 2000s as people looked for natural and efficient cleaning solutions. Besides cleaning, lemon juice had antibacterial properties, making it a great choice for sanitizing surfaces, while its fresh citrus scent kept kitchens smelling pleasant.
And today we're going to weed the garden and put stockings on our cabbages.
Reusing old stockings as plant ties was a clever gardening trick that gained popularity in the past. Gardeners found that cutting nylon stockings into strips created a gentle but strong support for plants. The stretchy material allowed plants to grow without being restricted, making it perfect for tying delicate stems to stakes or trellises. This method was especially useful for supporting tomatoes, cucumbers, and other climbing plants. An interesting fact about this hack was that it not only benefited plants, but also recycled old stockings, helping to reduce waste. The soft nylon prevented damage to plant stems, unlike harsher materials. This approach was embraced by home gardeners seeking affordable and eco-friendly solutions. As we've seen how old stockings can transform your garden, have you ever wondered how to refresh your white clothes effortlessly? Let's explore the next simple trick for brighter whites.
My neighbor taught me this trick to make clothes white. White clothes are a sign of purity, calmness, confidence, and cleanliness.
Using vinegar to brighten white clothes was a popular laundry hack. By adding a cup of white vinegar to the rinse cycle, it naturally whitened and brightened fabrics without bleach. The mild acidity of vinegar broke down detergent residues and mineral deposits that cause whites to look dull over time. This hack not only brightened whites, but also acted as a natural fabric softener and deodorizer, effectively removing musty odors from clothes stored for a long time. Additionally, vinegar was eco-friendly and safe for most fabrics, making it a versatile staple in many households.
And today I want to tell you how you can get fogless mirrors. You can get the clean mirror.
Preventing foggy mirrors with a bar of soap was a popular trick that many discovered. By rubbing a bar of soap on the bathroom mirror and then buffing it off with a dry cloth, a thin, invisible layer was created that repelled moisture. This method kept mirrors clear even after a hot shower, eliminating the need for constant wiping. The soap worked similarly to commercial anti-fog sprays, but was much cheaper and more accessible. It formed a barrier that stopped water droplets from sticking to the mirror, making it especially useful in homes with poor ventilation or during colder months when hot showers were more frequent.
A raw potato, not a baked potato.
You got it. Okay, and now we're going to depress the potato onto the broken glass.
Using a potato to remove a broken light bulb was a clever trick that gained popularity in the past. When a light bulb shattered and left the base stuck in the socket, one could cut a raw potato in half and press it into the broken base. The potato would grip the base firmly, allowing safe removal without touching sharp glass. This method was particularly useful for preventing injuries and making the process easier. The trick worked because the potato's firm texture provided enough grip to turn the broken base. It was especially handy in homes where light bulbs frequently broke, offering a quick and safe solution.
If you know the refrigerator pickle recipe, just using the pickle juice we already have and pack this with fresh cucumbers from the garden.
Reusing pickle juice became a popular kitchen trick, where leftover brine was no longer discarded, but repurposed for marinating meats. This method added a tangy flavor and helped tenderize the meat, making it great for chicken, pork, and beef. Pickle juice also enhanced the taste of potato salads and deviled eggs with a zesty twist. Additionally, it was used to make more pickles by adding fresh vegetables to the brine, which saved money and reduced waste. This eco-friendly practice remained popular, especially among those who valued both its culinary benefits and sustainability. Using chalk to absorb moisture proved to be a clever and popular hack. People found that placing pieces of chalk in toolboxes and jewelry boxes could prevent rust and tarnish. Chalk, being naturally absorbent, soaked up excess moisture, which was the main cause of rust on metal tools and tarnish on silver jewelry. This simple trick was both effective and affordable. Regular white chalk or even colored chalk could be used without any special preparation. People simply placed a few pieces in their toolboxes or jewelry boxes and let them go to work. Chalk was also used to keep closets and basements dry and odor-free. Using chalk to absorb moisture proved to be a clever hack, but what about another trick that speeds up drying time? Let's explore how a simple dip can transform your nail polish routine.
Dry your nail polish with ice water. For this hack, you're going to need your hands, some nail polish, also need a bowl of ice-cold water.
Dipping freshly painted nails in ice water was a clever trick that gained popularity decades ago. This method sped up nail polish drying by quickly hardening the top layer. To use it, people painted their nails as usual and then dipped them in a bowl of ice water for about a minute. The cold temperature caused the polish to set faster, reducing the risk of smudges and dents. The trick worked because the cold solidified the polish, making it dry to the touch much quicker than air drying alone. Although quick dry top coats and sprays became more common, this simple and effective technique remained a favorite.
Here's how to remove chewing gum from your clothes using peanut butter.
In the 1970s, people discovered that using peanut butter or an ice cube was a clever way to remove gum from clothing. When gum got stuck on fabric, rubbing an ice cube over it hardened the gum, making it easier to scrape off. Spreading peanut butter on the gum softened it so it could be peeled away more easily. The oil in peanut butter helped dissolve the gum's stickiness, making removal simpler. This method worked well on delicate fabrics where scraping could cause damage. Although modern stain removers and cleaning products have largely replaced these techniques, they were still useful for quick fixes at home.
The simplest way to bring your bread back to life without hurting anyone.
In the 1970s, a popular trick for reviving stale bread involved sprinkling it with water, wrapping it in foil, and baking it in a warm oven. This method worked by adding moisture back into the bread, making it soft and fresh again. To use this technique, one would likely sprinkle water on the stale bread, wrap it in aluminum foil, and bake it in a preheated oven at 300 to 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 to 10 minutes. The heat turned the water into steam, which softened the bread. This trick made stale bread taste almost as good as freshly baked and was especially useful for crusty breads like baguettes. Although modern preservatives and packaging have lessened the need for this method, it remained a favorite for those who preferred natural solutions. Ever tried reviving stale bread with just foil and water? Well, speaking of freshness, how about extending the life of cut flowers? Let's explore how a simple sugar and vinegar trick keeps flowers vibrant.
I buy fresh flowers every week. Everyone knows to trim the stems so that they can better absorb water and stay fresher for longer. I have 2 more tips. Did you know these?
Adding a bit of sugar and vinegar to the water in a vase was a clever trick to keep cut flowers fresh for longer. This method became popular in the 1970s when people looked for simple homemade solutions for everyday problems. The sugar served as food for the flowers, providing essential nutrients, while the vinegar helped prevent bacterial growth in the water. This combination helped the flowers absorb water more effectively, keeping them vibrant and fresh. It worked particularly well with flowers that like slightly acidic conditions, like roses and tulips. To maintain freshness, changing the water and recutting the stems every few days was important.
Today I'm going to show you how I deodorize and clean my disposal with some citrus.
Dropping a few citrus peels down the garbage disposal and running it with cold water was a simple and effective way to deodorize it. This trick became popular in the 1980s as people began seeking natural cleaning solutions. The citrus peels released oils that killed odor-causing bacteria and fungi, while the fresh citrus scent replaced unpleasant smells. Additionally, the acidity of the citrus helped to break down any grease or grime stuck in the disposal. This method not only freshened the smell, but also cleaned the blades, making the disposal more efficient. It worked well with any citrus fruit, like lemons, oranges, or limes.
Today I'm going to show you 2 easy ways to clean vases and water bottles, especially with things that you have lying around your house.
Using rice to clean bottles was a clever trick that gained popularity in the mid-20th century. The method involved putting a small amount of uncooked rice in warm water into a bottle or vase, then shaking it vigorously. The rice acted as a mild abrasive, scrubbing away dirt and residue from hard-to-reach areas. This technique was especially useful for cleaning narrow-necked bottles and oddly shaped vases where brushes couldn't reach. A fun fact about this trick was that it used the natural abrasiveness of rice grains, which cleaned effectively without scratching delicate surfaces. Plus, it was eco-friendly and cost-effective since most households had rice on hand.
So I want to do 2 experiments on ripening green tomatoes.
Using newspaper to ripen tomatoes was a popular trick in the mid-20th century. The method involved wrapping each green tomato in newspaper and storing them in a cool, dark place like a pantry or basement. The newspaper trapped the ethylene gas released by the tomatoes, which sped up their ripening. This technique allowed tomatoes to ripen evenly without the risk of direct sunlight causing uneven ripening or spoilage. It was especially useful for gardeners who needed to harvest before the first frost. Although still used today, this method has been largely replaced by modern techniques like using paper bags or placing tomatoes with ripe bananas. As we've seen, using newspapers to ripen tomatoes was a clever mid-20th century trick. But what modern solution emerged later for homemade ice packs? Let's explore how dish soap transformed everyday remedies.
And today I'm going to show you how to make the easiest gel ice pack.
Homemade ice packs made with dish soap became popular in the late 20th century. This method involved filling a plastic bag with liquid dish soap and freezing it. The dish soap didn't freeze solid, but turned into a gel-like consistency, making the ice pack flexible and easy to mold around injuries. This flexibility was particularly useful for treating areas like knees or elbows, where a rigid ice pack wouldn't fit well. Another advantage was that the ice pack could be reused multiple times without losing its effectiveness. Additionally, it was a cost-effective and convenient solution since most households already had dish soap in plastic bags.